Okay, so for this assignment, this is Intro to Sheets 4. I need you to first open a new spreadsheet and open a new presentation. So do that, pause the video if you need to. I like to go to Google Drive to do this. So I'll show you in case you don't know. But you should know by now. To create these things, I go to Google Drive and I click this button, New. And then you just select this is taking a little bit. You just select New Sheets or Slides, okay? So that's how you do that. I'm going to X out of this and let's get started. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to type in number of apples. So I'm going to put the number sign of apples. And now I want you to highlight cells B1 and C1. So what I did is I went into cell B1, I held down Shift on my keyboard, and I hit the right arrow on my keyboard. But another way to do it is just to click and drag. So highlight these cells, and we're going to go into Format and Merge Cells. And we're going to click Merge All. Okay, so now if you notice, there's no line separating cell B1 and C1. And you're going to see why this helps. Now what I want to do though right now is I want to align it so that number of apples is in the center. How do we do that? Just like when you're writing an essay, you go to this little icon. And we're going to choose center. See how it's nice and neat in the center? Okay, so here what we're going to be doing is we're going to be comparing how many apples we have collected over the course of a year compared to someone else. So I'm going to put me here, and we can put someone here, or someone else. Okay, so this column under B will be my collections, and this column under C will be someone else's collections. And remember, now we are going to do date. Okay, I said we're going to collect this data for a year. So what do? You can type in any date you want. I'm going to type in today's date, which is 4-19. Okay, and we want a year's worth of data. So 365 plus 3 is 368. So we're going to drag this down to row 368. Because there's 365 days in a year. 368. Boom. All right. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, this is right. Okay, 2021. So now let's scroll all the way back up top. And what we are trying to do here, now listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to bold this too. All right, so what we are trying to do here is we want to compare. We want to make it look like we are better at at collecting apples than this person, someone else. All right, that's the end goal of this. But forget about that for a second. What we're going to do, type in 1, go down to cell 2, go down to cell 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And now highlight these 3 cells. Now we're going to do an autofill. But notice what happens. So I'm going to drag it all the way down to 368. That number should increase. Yes, it did. Okay, great. So that number increased because we typed in 1, 2, 3. So we're going to show that I was able to collect an apple every single day. Okay, now we're going to do something similar for someone else, but we want to make it look like someone else is not as good at collecting apples as we are. So we're going to do we're going to type in 1 here. And let's drag it down to day 21. Now let's do 10 here. We'll drag that down to like 40 or something. Okay, now let's do 30. It doesn't really matter. If you're not doing it at the same row as me, it doesn't matter. All you want is for someone else's numbers to be lower than yours. So I'm starting at 30 when my column says 44. And then I'm just going to, we're going to keep doing this until we're just about done. So this is 69. I'm going to put 50. So this person's apple collection is also going up, but it's just not going up as fast as ours. So this is 101. I'm going to put 75. Here we'll put 100. And now we'll put 150. Let's just do 150 for the rest of the cells. Okay. All right. So let me check out what else I want to do with you. Increasing autofill. Okay. So we're going to create a graph. So I like to, on my keyboard, I like to click in the top left cell, and I like to hit on my keyboard Control A. That selects all the cells. And we're going to create our graph, or our chart. Okay, cool. All right, so it auto-generated a great chart for us. Blue should not say number of apples. That should say me, and the red one should say someone else, but that's fine. So as you can see, I collected more apples over time, and this person stopped collecting apples somewhere in November. Maybe they were out of season and they couldn't keep collecting them. So this proves that I was better at collecting apples. Okay. Here's what we're going to do with the presentation. So let's go over here. And we'll name it I am better. No, you know what? No. Apple collection by Mr. Fedor. Okay, always have a title slide. Always name it something appropriate, okay? And once you name it on the slide, if you click up here, it auto names it for you. That's something also over here we want to name our spreadsheet. Let's also name this Apple collection. Okay, go back to slides. Let's create another slide. Let's name this slide data. Okay. Here what we're going to do is we're going to take a screenshot of just the data, not the graph. How do we do that? Well, every computer is different. So if you don't know how to take a screenshot on your computer, a lot of you have Chromebooks, so search up how to screenshot on Chromebook. Okay? You do that. I know how to do it on my computer. So I want you to figure that out for yourself. I'm going to screenshot. I use the snipping tool. Okay. And you're just going to get the data. Okay? It doesn't matter how much you get. As long as you have a few rows and cells, I'm going to name this pay attention to where you know what, just for the sake of this video, let's save it to the desktop. Name it Apple Collection. And here we are going to get that screenshot onto this page. We go to Insert, Image, Upload from Computer. Okay, where did we save it? We saved it to our desktop. Apple Collection. Cool. So I'm putting this on this page. Let's put it to the right. And here you're going to explain your data. Okay, always put bullet points on your slides. Okay, we're explaining the data. So we collected number of apples collected. Okay, when you do bullet points, you want to keep it short. So we'll explain that 2 people were collecting apples. Okay, so the text is going behind my image. That's not good. Okay, and now we want to say why. We told them what we collected on the second bullet point. Now we want to say why. This was to prove or to show who was better at collecting. Okay, that explains the data. Let's do a new slide. We'll say who was better. And now this is where we're going to copy our graph. So can you right click on this? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so click on the graph, make sure you have this blue box around it, and on your keyboard press Control C. That copies it. Then click in this box on Google Slides and hit Control V. Link to spreadsheet. Yeah, I guess let's see what that does. Okay, cool. Now obviously you want it to be an appropriate size, so let's shrink it. We'll put it down in the bottom right corner, and now we are just simply going to say in a bullet point something like who was better. Obviously, actually no, you wouldn't even say that. Me was better at collecting apples. So if you were presenting this to someone, you would just read this to them and you would point to the graph, explain to the graph, the blue line represents me and the red line represents someone else. Okay, that's what you would present. So the whole idea behind this is to get you ready for next week's project. So if you follow this video, you should be ready for next week's project. Okay? All right, thank you.